Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. Quick look here at XRP. This is actually fantastic news. Be sure to stick around. I'll make it quick, but I got some important bullet points. First things first is this local point of control at 220 I mentioned previously being that tentative resistance for us. We're above that for the moment here, and that's a very good sign. So I think we don't lose 100,000 for Bitcoin. Really solid chance we see further upside from here. So we get a lot more support below us, and having broken through that little recent threshold and the descending trend line, it's a very, very solid start here. So just note, Bitcoin is overextended. It's a fundamental catalyst. A lot of reasons why the price pumped up, mainly because Trump tweeted a lot about trade negotiations. Things went well today, and on top of that, he just keeps telling people to buy to buy stocks. So that's stimulating the market for the moment. Just know the realism of that can come into play at some point, and the price can pull back. So we're going to look at some of those key levels for retracement if that were to happen. I always post that on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. So if you're not familiar, I do have this available here for you. I also have shorts too, in case you're curious. They do kind of get the point across. And also make sure you check out Bitunix too. I get a lot of questions right now. This is the exchange that we use as a community. Between now and May 14th, you get a nice solid deposit reward bonus. So just check it out. Awesome stuff there. And just make sure you take advantage if you're already part of that, or you use my link to register previously. So XRP. 230 is just kind of that local high here where we got some extra liquidation, some heavier concentrations where folks shorted this coin that's pulling back now. From a macro perspective though, 235, 236, that's the heaviest concentration. So the price were to run, that would be a logical place for it to hit and then maybe slow down. Mainly because it's a local high. Oftentimes you see double tops or cup and handles, cup and handle patterns form that way. So 235, 236 seems like a logical area of consideration for a take profit target if you're in a leveraged position. We look at liquidation delta, we're at about 600 million right now. That's pretty substantial. And the fact of the matter is that's probably going to continue to sustain itself, and we're probably likely to go higher based on the simple fact that we have a lot of volume flowing in. We've broken through a key level resistance. And if we look here, that open interest area of 222, that's the largest position size for most people here on this coin. So I would say at this point we've broken tentatively bullish from the back end, data, and then from a macro perspective too. I mean, I mentioned this previously that even though we were due to correct ourselves lower, hadn't we had a fundamental catalyst or a push for Bitcoin higher, we are in a position right now where we're above our descending trend line. We're over 50 on the RSI and 20 on the RSI, or sorry, the SMA rather, 50 and 20 on the SMA, and then also, of course, we're breaking above 50 on the RSI. So these are all very bullish signs here, telling us that shift in momentum has occurred or is occurring now. MACD is converging, stochastic swinging up. There's really not a lot else I can show you here that's like super substantial. That's going to be like, we're not going up. Okay. Now, if we were to continue higher, once more, 236, 237 would make sense. That's our local resistance range. We've also got our macro point of control at 240. So between 236 and 240 is a solid profit consideration target. If the price were to pull back though, the very logical and easy places to understand is once more 215. We've had a lot of volume there previously, and then 220 as well would be two solid considerations for longs. Best case scenario would be this 207, this 0.382 fib level, and that's if Bitcoin starts running back down towards 97,000. If that were to happen, 97K, by the way, is a very solid consideration for a long for me, because we have so much confluence there, so much volume for Bitcoin that it would be a very sensible place to consider a long. That's if we get lucky. Between now and then, I think 100,000 should hold. If that does hold, then I think XRP is gonna go higher here. So I think 236 to 240 makes a lot more sense first before we were to see the low $2 range again. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at there. Awesome stuff. Congrats again to our community members for some nice longs there. And also those who closed out our short positions early. I mean, we kind of got, we didn't get squeezed out, thankfully, because we used a stop loss in every trade. But had we not closed out those trades early, it would have been a pretty big disaster there. So either way you look at it, thanks again so much for being awesome parts of my life. And why don't you comment below and let me know what's your position on this coin? What are you thinking is going to happen next? Love to hear it. I hope you have a good rest of your day, though. Thanks again so much. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.